Good afternoon, students. Those who are doing Mathematics 6, here is your time for August contact session as a preparation for our Mathematics 6 examination. I am your tutor, Miss Ampolo, and that is my cell phone number, 081-2009-524. So then contact me whenever you have a problem with Mathematics 6, and I know that most of our students, we are struggling too much with this module, but please just go through, just practice. And if you have any question, please just call me or send me a WhatsApp. Maybe you want there's a diagram, send it to me. Let us work it together so that you will pass your course. All right. To start with, welcome to Mathematics 5. I wish you to be hardworking, dedicated students as you are. And this presentation will cover a bit of what we did, and mostly these are the things that I think you need to master very well. Okay. And then it will be as a guideline as well as you are preparing for examination. So then go through what we are going to do and go through the presentation that were done. You know, mathematics is such a very complex subject and we cannot do a lot in a very limited time. So then go back to the videos that were done, go back to the presentation that were done, and if you have any question, just call me, please contact me. By now you might have a good idea of what Mathematics 6 is all about. Most of the things in Mathematics 6 grade 12 extended part, but then we find out that most of the students they are not doing so good. So then we narrowed it a little bit so that we can think maybe extended part is too much, or some of the things are even higher level mathematics, and then we know we don't really get time to tackle every part of mathematics. So then let's see what we are going to do here. But I'm advising you, please, and I'm encouraging you to go through the presentation that were done. And if you have any question, please just contact me. Okay. This is not the scope of the examination, but things that I need you to pay attention to. Use the prescribed textbook for your preparation, because we know that we don't have a study guide yet, and once it comes, we know we will be sorted. And then even those textbooks that we are always telling you to use, the y is equal to mx plus c and the Prism Alive, those grade 12 books, they are so much students friendly. You can learn and understand. The steps are shown clearly, and so make sure that you know what to do. Let's look at the first part, regular polygons. This is quite an easy part, but then there are still some of you who cannot work with polygons. I don't know why. And then polygons are shapes, just like any other shape. They are shapes bounded by straight line, and then they are shaped with equal side and equal angles. If it's a pentagon, it's a 5-sided polygon with 5 equal sides and 5 equal angles, 5 lines of symmetry, and 5 orders of rotational symmetry. That is special about the polygons. They are so much easy to work with because the formula that you use, they can apply to any polygon. Okay, once you have mastered one polygon, you have mastered them all, because they have the same way of doing things. It's not like a square, triangle. They are polygons. The main key is polygons, and they are regular. If you know how to work with one, you will know how to work with all of them. A pentagon is a 5-sided polygon. Hexagon is a 6-sided polygon. Heptagon 7-sided polygon. Octagon 8. Nonagon 9. And then decagon 10. and then the 12-sided polygon is a dodecagon. You should know which one is which, because in the examination you might ask to provide a special a name of a certain polygon to specify it. Is it a decagon, heptagon, octagon, or what? You might just be given a diagram. It's a 9-sided polygon, and then they'll ask you to give a name of that polygon, and you must always say regular something, regular octagon, regular heptagon, regular nonagon, and so on. Okay, now there are notes that you need to know when it comes to working with polygons. The sum of exterior polygon in angles in a polygon is 360 degrees. Now, what do you mean by exterior polygon? Let me just draw a polygon here. This is going to be, what type of a polygon is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is an octagon. Okay, and then when talk about an exterior angle, whenever you extend any side, you produce an exterior angle. If you extend, you produce an exterior angle in a polygon. If you just extend a line, you produce an exterior polygon. And how many are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 exterior polygons. As I said, everything is so interesting. 8 equal sides, 8 equal angles, 8 lines of symmetry, 8 rotational symmetry, 8 exterior angles, 8 interior angles, 8 angles at the center, and so on. So then that is all about what polygons. Okay, so then the sum of the exterior angles is 360. If you add all these angles together, you get 360. You must know it, because if you don't know it, you will not be able to work with a polygon comfortably. The sum of interior angles in a polygon, we can make use of that formula, n minus 2 times 180. What does that formula came from? The sum of interior, we can take n minus 2 multiplied by 180, and represent the number of sides. If it's an 8-sided polygon, is 8 minus 2 times 180. Find the difference, that is 60. 6 times 180, that will be 6 multiplied by 180. That will give us 1080 degrees. That is the sum. The sum. If you add all them together, it will give us 1080. How about if it's only one interior angle? To get the one interior angle, you can work out the sum and then divide it with how many angles are inside, divided by 8. So in 1080 divided by 8, one interior angle of an octagon will give us 135 degrees. So then 135 here, 135 there, 135 here, one. So then each angle is 135 of an octagon, 135. And you can use this for any polygon. If you want the heptagon, is 7 minus 2 times 180. If it's a dodecagon, 12 minus 2 times 180. And where did this come from? If you try to join the corners of an octagon to just one corner, we will produce a number of triangles there. How many triangles are we having here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then we end up having 6. Can you see 6 here? 6 triangles. And we know that the sum of angles in a triangle is 180. So then 180 here, 180, 180, 180, 180, 180. That will give us the sum of them in that polygon. Okay, so then very much interesting there. All right, then how can we get the number of sides? Sometimes you are just given a part of a polygon. Maybe you are given just a part of a polygon like that. and then it will ask you how many sides. Perhaps you are given an angle in outside here 12 degrees. Let me say this angle outside, this exterior angle is 12 degrees. Then it asks you how many sides. To work out the number of sides, you can take 360 degrees divided by the number of, or divided by exterior, the exterior angle. That will be 360 divided by 12, which will give us 30. So then this is a 30-sided polygon. I don't know the specific name of a 30-sided polygon. You can Google it out and see what they call a 30-sided polygon. That is how you get the number if you want to find how many sides a polygon has. How do you work out the angle at the center? What is the angle at the center? Let me just draw another polygon here. Perhaps, how do you call this polygon? Sorry, it's not that it's not accurate, it's not regular, but it's a polygon. If you try to draw the lines of symmetry in this polygon, we will produce the number of angles at the center. How many angles at the center would you have? If this is a hexagon, it will give us 6 angles at the center. And the angle at the center, you know, they are forming up a perfect circle, which is a total of 360. So then to find out how much is one angle at the center, you can take 360 divided by the number of sides. If it's a hexagon, like this is a hexagon, divided by 6, that will be 360 divided by 6, which will give us 60. So then this angle here is 60, 60, 60, 60, and 60, and 60. So then the angle at the center is for this hexagon is 60 degrees. Again, students, you should know how to work with the polygons. Make sure that you know how to work with polygons. Okay, now I have 2 polygons here that I want us to look at. Work out the value of the marked angle, angle in the following polygons. The first polygon is it's an octagon. That is what you have. And so how can we work out this angle now? Let me say that is an octagon. So then we have like this, like this, oh sorry, okay, this is one line of symmetry. This is another line of symmetry. This is another line of symmetry. This is another line of symmetry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is what you have. A is here to work out this angle. B is here to work out this angle. C is here to work out this angle. And D is here to work out this angle. So then that is it. And this is mostly what we have covered in our explanation. A, how do we call A? This is the angle at the center. And how do we call the angle at the center? We know that the angle at the center will form up a revolution. So then A is equal to 360 divided the number of sides, or the number of angles, how many here, divided by 8. Then we get our answer. Okay, and then B, how can we get B? Now for a polygon, for this side is equal to that side, and that will produce an isosceles triangle. If this is B, obviously this angle here is also going to be B. The two base angles will be equal. Now we know that the angle A is 360 divided by, we know that this angle here is 45. Okay, if this is 45, how can we get B? We can take 180 minus 45 degrees divided by 2, because it's an isosceles triangle and we should know how to work with isosceles triangles. We should know how to work with isosceles triangles. Okay, so then B is equal to 180 minus 45, then you get your answer divided by 2, which will give us 67 degrees. B is 67 degrees. This is also 67 degrees. All right, the next question is C. C, you can see this C. C is an interior angle of a polygon. C, this is also C, this part is also C, this one is also C, this one is also C. So then how do we call the interior angle of a polygon? Remember what we said previously? To work out the interior angles, we have the sum and then you divide it with the number of angles. Alright, so then you take the sum, 8 minus 2 times 180, which will give us 1080 divided by 8. There we got 135 degrees. So then C is 135 degrees. Alright, and how can we get D? D, we know that is an exterior angle. So then you should know what you have to work with. What are you working with? D is an exterior angle, and how can we get D? You take 360, so this is C. D, you take the sum of the exterior angles, 360, divided by the number of sides or by the number of angles, divided by 8, which will give us 45 degrees as well. One interesting thing about the polygons is also that the angle at the center is equal to the exterior angle. So then if you know that the angle at the center is 45, obviously this angle outside the exterior angle is also 45. The two angles are always equal. Okay, they have the same method. You can see 360 divided by 8, 360 divided by 8. The exterior angle is the same as the angle at the center. Alright, this next question, 1.2. This is what you have in 1.2. It's a regular pentagon. It's a regular pentagon, and it's given, it's only written given with one line of symmetry there. Okay, and we have like this as well. This angle here is given as 108 degrees. Then you have to work out angle A, and then B here, and this is 72 degrees. How can we get angle A? Okay, and then we are told that this is a regular polygon. It's a regular pentagon. How can we get A? To get A, you can forget about the bottom part and just focus on the triangle outside there. And this is an isosceles triangle. And this, if this is A, obviously this is also A. The two angles will be equal because we end up having an isosceles triangle. So then A is equal to 180 degrees minus 108. Then you divide it by 2. Okay, which will give us what? That will be 180 minus 108 divided by 2. So then that will give us 36 degrees. So then A is 36 degrees. Alright, then we come to B. Work out angle B. B is easy to get. You can see the corner for B. B is the same as this angle. These are the angles, interior angles of a polygon, and we know that it's a regular polygon. They will be equal. Obviously B is 108 as well. B is equal to that angle here. They are interior angles of a polygon. We don't need to think, even we don't need to do any calculation. So then B is 108 degrees. Or to get B, you can make use of this trapezium here. The bottom part of the pentagon will give us a nice trapezium in down here. And we know that opposite sides of a trapezium are parallel. And we can make use of the properties of angles now, the properties of angles in parallel lines. And this one will give us co-interior angles. B and 72 are co-interior angles. And when we work with co-interior angles, we know that they are supplementary. They end up to 180. So then B is going to be either 180 minus 72 degrees. And 180 minus 72, let me just make sure that is correct. 180 minus 72, you see, that one will give us 108 degrees. So then this angle is 108 degrees. Okay, so then when it comes to the polygons, we're only going to ask about the regular polygons, and you should know how to work with them. Know the names, know how to find the sum of the angles, how to work with exterior angles, and so on. Alright, the next part that I want us to look at is cumulative frequency curve. I did a presentation about the cumulative frequency curve in our previous presentation, but then when it comes to the assignment, most of you did not still get it right, and I want you to get it right. Make sure you know how to work with, how to draw a cumulative frequency curve. Now, cumulative frequency, you add up the frequencies as you move along, and then it shows the median, that is the middle part, the lower quartile, that is the first quarter, and the upper quartile, that is the third quarter. And then we have the interquartile range, that is the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. You should know how to work with these people, my dear students. Okay, let's look at the first example now. Alice asked 300 people how much they spent at lunch every day. So then this person made a very little survey. She asked 300 people how much you spend at lunch every day. About those who do not spend at all, and up to $20, they are 60. And then up to $40, 70. Up to $60, 68. Up to $80, 50. And then up to $120, it's just 52. So then that is the information that she got. Okay, let's look at the questions. Make a cumulative frequency table for the data above. How do we make a cumulative frequency? Cumulative frequency, as we look at, if you look back about you add up the frequencies as you move along. So then these are the frequencies. The first part, that is 20. The frequency, we have the frequency here, and the cumulative frequency now. We have the amount here. Okay. We have the amount, we have the frequency, and we have the cumulative frequency. Okay. For the amount, let's use the maximum there. 0 here, 0, 0. Alright. If the amount is now, we start from 0. If the amount is 20, that is 20 included, we have 60, 40 included, then we have 70, we have 60 there, we have 68, we have 80 there, we have 50, we have 120 here, we have 52. Now the cumulative frequency, you add up the frequencies as you move along. 0 plus 60, that will be 60, plus 70, 130, 130 plus 68, 130 plus 68, that will give us 198, plus 50, that will give us 240, plus 52, not 248, plus 52. Of course, the last number should always give you the total number of people in the survey. If it did not give us 300 according to the instruction, then we needed to go back and see where we made a mistake. So then start with your 0, start, and then cumulative frequency, you add up the frequency. 0 plus 0, plus 60 will give us 60. 60 plus 70, 130. 130 plus 68, 198. 190 plus 98 plus 50, 248. 248 plus 52, and then 300. That is how we find the cumulative frequencies. The second question now, let's use a graph. Make using a 2 centimeters to represent $20 on the horizontal axis and 2 centimeters to represent 20 people on the vertical axis. Draw a cumulative frequency curve. Let us draw our curve now. So then you will be having a graph papers, and make use of your graph papers, please. This is the 0. On this side, it said on the horizontal axis. This is horizontal. So then we have the amount here. This is horizontal. We have amount here in Namibian dollars, and we have to use a scale of 2 centimeters. 2 centimeters is roughly 10 small units of your ruler or of your graph paper. It will be 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. Our maximum number you can see on the amount is 120. We can stop there. Okay, and then vertical axis, again we are using 2 centimeters to represent 20 people. Now our thing should go up to 300. Okay, so then make sure that your thing will fit in nicely there. That will be 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, 220, 240. Unfortunately mine will not fit, but make sure that I'm just giving you an example here. Okay, and then if you make any question, if you need me to repeat, you must always come call me. Now let us draw our graph. That will be 20 people, 60, 20 and 60 is here, 40, 70 somewhere there, 60, 68, 20, 60, 40, 130, 130 somewhere here, this is out, 60, 198, 198 somewhere here, and then 80, 248 somewhere there. Our graph will somehow look like this, and it will go on. Okay, then see, use your graph, whatever you have, whether it's correct or wrong. The instruction said use your graph, and as I said, we might consider a follow through on your work. If you used your work, and then your answer is correct, you will get a mark for that. Okay, use your graph to find the median. The median is the middle number. Which one is our middle part here? It's 60. This is our half. So then you go up to 60. From there you draw, come back to the graph, and then you read from your instruction there, from your graph. The middle part is how much you get there. That is your 60. 60 is the middle here. It's 120. 120 divided by 2 is 60. You go straight, draw a line up to your graph, and make a 10 to read the number of people there, or the amount that you get the frequencies on that part. Then you find the upper and lower quartiles. The upper and lower, those are the upper is the third quarter, and the lower is the upper is third quarter. 3/4 times 300. If you take 3/4 times 300, it will give us 225. Okay, that is the upper quartile, 225. And the lower is the first quarter, 1/4 times the number of people, that is 300. 1/4 times 300, that will give us 75. That is how to find the upper and the lower. Upper is the third quarter, and the lower is the first quarter. And then the last question is to find the interquartile range. The interquartile range, you minus the upper quartile or minus the lower quarter. The upper quarter we know is 25, and then the lower one is 75. So then find the difference between the two. 225 minus 75, that will give us 150. This is your interquartile range. You know that a range is the difference between the highest and the lowest amount. Okay, so then that is it about the cumulative frequencies. Any question you have, you must always be free to ask me, please. And that will be all for today, but then you must always consider repeat exponential indices, the measurements. When it comes to the measurements, this topic only requires you to know those formulas very well: volume, perimeter, total surface area. Make sure that areas, you should know the formulas for each and every shape. And then trigonometry, we are going to just look at the trigonometry in right angle triangles, not non-right angle triangles, the Sohka tower, and the bearings, the theorem of Pythagoras as well. Make sure that you revise those parts. We are going to look at transformation. I find this thing very much easy. Most of you know how to do them well. Enlargement, refraction, rotation, and translation. Sometimes you'll be asked to draw them, to refract, to enlarge, to translate, and to rotate shapes. And then sometimes you'll be asked to describe them. They are given there already with their images, and then you have to describe them. And you should know how to describe so that you can get all the marks under that part. Statistics and simple probabilities. Know how to find the mode, the mean, the median, the range. You should know how to do that. And simple probabilities. We are not going to look at probability tree diagrams, but make sure that you know how to find the probabilities, as well as simplifying, solving, factorizing. This kind of a basic general about algebra. You should know how to do that one as well. And more other parts as well in mathematics. It's so complex, and we cannot cover everything in the same, in this amount of time we have. With that, I wish you all the best. Practice makes perfect. Know the rules, the steps, the formulas. Read the instructions. Make sure that you are answering the questions, and please make sure that your handwriting is very much visible, and it's very neat. With that, I wish you all the best once again, and thank you very much.